So you're filling your deck with a bunch of cards that don't flip your Delvers, weakening the Delvers, and then the Delvers also don't necessarily play all that well with the Stoneforge Mystic. Obviously, they're creatures to put maybe Umezawa's Jite on, but beyond that, it's two pretty non-coherent game plans.
All right, so Michael Cooley on the play here with the Delver Secrets, and we'll update that match score in just a moment. Choi Yim starts off with Ancestral Vision. Good old Ancestral Vision. This card...
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Okay, so the match is tied 1-1. We are in game 3 here, the decider, to see who takes this match.
Looks like a main phase Brainstorm here. That'll definitely flip the Delver. The question is whether it gets him the lands he needs. Looks like he had a land. Oh wow, he's putting 2 lands back and shuffling them away. So definitely going for the card selection over the, power of flipping his Delver. I actually like that a lot. You're obviously not going to kill Choi immediately, so you might as well get a little card selection out of it. Plus, you're free rolling on the 40 to 50% that your Delver's going to flip anyway.
Well, he does have another Brainstorm.
Oh yeah, he could also do that.
He may still try to set it up.
Let's see how he wants to use that mana.
There you go, he is gonna
ponder, sure. Same principle. Land, something. Didn't see what the third card was, but he did choose to draw it.
We will likely find out in just a moment.
Ancestral Text down to 3, and Choi gets to play a 2-drop. Now he's got 4 Tarmogoyf and 2 Baleful Strixes as proactive 2-drops. You can also do something like a Hymn to Torok, or perhaps, say, a Cantrip and a Thoughtseize. Two mana for this Shardless Bog deck is a weird spot because it's not 3 where like your plays are a lot more scripted. Like there's a lot of variations in every type of hand. Every texture of hand has a lot of options for what they do on 2. So it's always interesting to see what they do, especially when they're following up an Ancestral, because that changes the dynamic of the game so much. Because you can really sit back and play conservatively when you have an Ancestral ticking down. So he fetches out a land, which is a tropical island, so he cannot cast Hymn to Torok, so this looks like a Tarmogoyf or a Baleful Strix. Or he just doesn't want to get stifled. That is also reasonable.
Baleful Strix is a card that I really don't get.
It's a robot owl. What's not to get?
Okay, so there we see what Choi was setting up. Is the Abrupt Decay on the Delver Secret / Insectile Aberration.
Yep, he was playing around Stifle with his fetch lands. Make sure he had 2 mana so that he can get the decay off on the Delver that was 100% flipping thanks to the Brainstorm last turn. Or no, he cast Ponder, excuse me. And now he's casting Brainstorm. Putting 2 back. Looks like he's gonna shuffle those away, or at least potentially. And it looks like he had a Geist of St. Traft in his hand. Must have brainstormed into that. And that's one of the cards that's really hard for the Shardless Bog deck to deal with. It basically only has 1 Liliana of the Veil if it resolves, and only 3 Force of Wills to fight over it. I mean, you can make him discard it with a Thoughtseize or tag it with a Hymn to Torok, but...
Or cast a Baleful Strix.
Yeah, or block it with a Baleful Strix, although that is a lot harder to do when your opponent shows you a Lightning Bolt. And he just passes, so it looks like he is on Geist. Meanwhile, Choi untaps.
Ancestral Vision goes down to 2 time counters. 2 mana. Hymn to Torok.
Alright.
Very old school, worn, Fallen Empires version there.
I like the one with the Howling Wolf.
I believe that was Susan Van Camp, the artist. Hymn to Torok also featured newly in From the Vault 20 as one of the 20 most influential cards of all time. and it receives a nice new foil update. So for all of you who have always wanted a foil Hindatorok for your legacy decks.
I'm sure there are plenty of people that feel that way. Looks like this is going to get Force of Willed. That's another thing about Brainstorm, that you can use it to protect against discard. Michael Cooley kind of used his a little aggressively, so he's kind of priced into forcing the Hindatorok. Although you're getting 2 for 2 either way, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like it's a Thoughtseize where you're hiding, your best card.
Oh, and here's that Geist of St. Traft.
Yep. And Geist does land, and a Lightning Bolt for the Deathrite Shaman. So Choi pretty far behind on board, but about to draw 3 cards. And looks like he's going to spin the wheel with a Shardless Agent, hitting a Thoughtseize. So that's going to tag a Ponder. Might as well.
Now, Shardless Agent is a card I have no problem understanding, especially when you use it in conjunction with Ancestral Vision.
Yeah, that is a nice little interaction. That's the most Jerry Thompson thing I've ever heard in my life. Brainstorm back an Ancestral and then Shardless Agent into it.
Just like the Baleful Strix, Shardless Agent was featured in the... Which one was this? Commander product?
Yeah. Or as I call them, imaginary cards, because they weren't actually in like normal sets. They didn't actually see circulation or standard play or anything like that.
Yeah. Possibly Plane Chase, the second edition of Plane Chase. One of the special
one of the
sets
promotional
that came out.
Fun.
But most importantly here on this board, Choi Yim can use it as a 2/2 to block the Geist.
Yeah, which actually Michael Cooley didn't have a removal spell.
Yeah, he had used up his Lightning Bolt on a Deathrite Shaman.
So Geist had to stay home. Choi then got to draw 3 cards, and Shardless Agents again into a Brainstorm. And this is what the deck is designed to do. Things are snowballing quickly, and you can sort of see the game, pulling out of reach for Michael Cooley. Looks like Michael Cooley just drew and quickly passed. And Choi has a hand full of cards. Lots of options available to him now. He has another Ancestral Visions in his hand. He's going to start with a Thoughtseize. You miss.
He's going to fetch with Misty Rainforest. We also see the Creeping Tar Pit. That's a 2 of in Chihoi's Shardless Bug deck.
Yep, one has already been wastelanded, but he does have the other in his hand. That is another Jerry Thompson card. You can really see all of the aspects of his, deck building personality in this deck.
Yeah, as a player / deck builder personality, Jerry Thompson is about as grindy as they get.
Yes, he's an extremely stylized player, and that style is value.
he wants to gain fractions of incremental advantage with every spell he casts.
Yep.
Until all of a sudden your opponent is dead.
Yep. He wants to leave the opponent absolutely hopeless.
And wondering how they lost, quite honestly.
Yes.
It's not a deck like Show and Tell where you just show them an Emrakul.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I lose to these robot owls? And I don't even... Shardless Agent is also an artifact.
He's like a robot spy guy. He's like Android James Bond.
And here you go, a 2/2 attacking. It does not get more innocuous than this. But those 2/2 attackers have already gained plenty of card advantage. A Thoughtseize off of one, a Brainstorm off of the other.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the card disparity here. Michael Cooley has 4 permanents, 1 card, and 1 creature. Choi has 5 lands, 3 creatures, an Ancestral ticking down, and 3 or 4 cards in hand.
Yep, that Creeping Tar Pit is also going to be attacking soon enough. A cycle of animatable lands.
That was an awesome cycle.
Zendikar. Or Worldwake, actually, right?
Yeah, I think they were in Worldwake.
There you go, attack for another 5. The Creeping Tar Pit being unblockable.
Chihoi's so far ahead, he wants to play a little conservatively. He's leaving back 2 blockers for the guys at St. Trap. Very smart. playing around, one of the blockers getting killed, he doesn't want to just get hit for 6 straight up. Going to force you to have 2 removal spells if you want to attack. The game is basically sewn up with all of the advantage that he's generated. Now it's just a matter of getting him dead before he draws back out of it, and not randomly dying to something unreal like, double lightning bolt or something like that.
Yeah, Michael Cooley was doing a lot in the early games, but that a lot was just brainstorms and ponders.
Yeah, treading water.
In this matchup, that's not what you wanted to be doing at that point.
No, you got to be the aggressor, especially with a Ancestral ticking down.
Yeah, and here there's a second Ancestral now, another 3 cards waiting in the wings.
Plays Anumaza's Jite and then attacks. It's a strange sequence there.
I think he's just trying to force Chihoi to...
Chihoi should certainly be double blocking here. Yeah, and that's why. That was a fairly sizable mistake from Chihoi. I don't know if it's going to come back to bite him. But now he gets to attack for lethal on the way back.
Yep.
So yeah, Michael Cooley needed another creature. I guess he only had 1 card in hand after playing the Lightning Bolt, so it was impossible for him to play a land and a creature. But that is something that a lot of players don't realize, is that you can overkill a Geist. It's okay to overkill a Geist. It's actually very often correct.
No one is playing Giant Gross along with the Geist at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's okay to double block in case they have the removal spell to kill your blocker, and they have just used that removal spell to get 4 free points in with the Angel.
I've seen a lot of people, because it follows that, if somebody could kill your creature, they would kill the creature and then attack so they can get through. But that's not necessarily true if you have 2 blockers. So they'll just send into your 2 blockers and then kill the one that you block with. I've actually seen Ben Stark losing in a Legacy GP top 8 doing exactly that.